Get this show on the road. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Make sure you're hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, dinging the bell to be notified when I go live and post cryptocurrency content, because you do not want to miss these urgent updates. Guys, what is going on? Make sure you are in the Discord. We thought the thumbnail was brilliant because if you didn't notice that the U.S. Crypto Strategic Reserve actually has Bitcoin, the ticker Bitcoin, and Pepe, and XYO instead of XRP, and Litecoin instead of Solana, and Dogecoin instead of Cardano. So I don't know if that's a proper list, but we thought that was funny. But welcome back to the channel, guys. We're just poking some fun. You know, we like Cardano. We even might give XRP a chance, you know, but we're still skeptical. We're still skeptical of XRP. But and obviously, guys, you know, we like Pepe. It's the meme that started the meme super cycle in 2023. So we pay homage to the flag carrier of what we think is the Doge of this cycle. But welcome, guys. Make sure you are following me at Dano Crypto 904 to get updates there as well. I'll be able to post here pretty soon. I got silenced for a few days, but we'll be back here shortly. So if you want to get direct messages and updates from me, and also tweet updates and posts of things that I think are key to note here, I'll try and post them here in the crypto news section in the Discord. And if you just want to come and hang out and enjoy the silence, welcome. All right, so if you caught the video this morning, we were talking about how we weren't trying to say an I told you so or anything, but we were pretty close, almost dead on of what we thought was going to happen with Bitcoin, with our predictions of the short-term price volatility here. And so make sure if you guys get a chance, you might have already watched it, but I said we were right about Bitcoin and altcoins. Of us getting a little bit of a tick to the upside. So let's see if we're going to continue this momentum. We showed you the trades that we were in, but we did something really funny. We actually kind of did a blunder, and we want to make sure that we clear this up. So we got in a Sonic trade so fast, and we thought it was the actual S token for Sonic Labs, and we read it as Sonic and didn't realize, obviously the S token is, the ticker is S for Sonic, not actual Sonic, because we forgot that there is another token on the market that is branded Sonic. So, and it has nothing to do with Sonic or FTM. So we just want to clear that up. That was our mistake. But what's funny is that the chart actually still looked bullish, And even though it's not the Sonic that we were trying to trade, it ended up being a pretty bullish trade. So I thought that was hilarious. We got it mixed up, but we're luckily, the actual what this, Sonic coin is doing is has to do with gaming and a SVM network extension that's launching on Solana. So pretty interesting. So I thought that was funny. I just wanted to clear that up because I was talking like how I was like in this bullish trade on Sonic Labs, but I'm not. I'm in the other Sonic. So let's just clear that up. And we actually are currently in a BTC trade, ADA trade, Sol trade, Pepe, XRP, Pol, Brett, and Sonic. So, but not the Sonic that we thought we were actually in. We were easy blunder, but it just shows that there's so many different coins. There's so many different things named almost the same. And this is how people end up going like, well, I thought I bought Bitcoin. Like, bro, no, you bought Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. You bought the ticker Bitcoin. No, I bought Bitcoin. It said Bitcoin. No, dude, you bought Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. You bought the in-game token is what you bought. So let's just clear that up. All right, make sure you guys are checking out the link tree. It's got all this stuff that you need to get access to all of the different links. Like, you could book a one-on-one Calendly, one-on-one video session with me if you'd like, or if you want me to be affiliated with anything that you have a cool project or something like that, or you just have something you really need to talk to me about, then you can book a Calendly. And then we have all the, exchanges that we like to use, the bullish exchanges and other stuff as well. And if you want to check out my music, you can check out the Spotify right there. And make sure you guys check out Beancoin, direct sponsor of the channel. If you want to be affiliated with a awesome crypto coffee company where you get rewarded crypto for buying Beancoin, this is where you want to be. You want to go to beancoin.co. You want to join the community. So go to the coffee shop hangout and join the Discord. So then we can start talking about what kind of coffee you like, maybe some ideas that you have for Beancoin. Maybe you want to join the street team. If you want to join the street team, best way that you can do that is buy a Beancoin shirt, buy a sticker, and start promoting this stuff to the world, because this is how grassroots companies build. They start from the ground up. They start from an idea right from your head, and they go into the physical, and we make this stuff happen. And so this is what crypto is all about. You got to build stuff. You got to make things. I'm not here to just blab my stupid head on the internet. I want to make stuff, and we're here to do so. So, all right, let's get into the Bitcoin price. Let's go, guys. So here we basically, this was the inverse head and shoulders kind of pattern that was forming on these small time frames, the very short time frame of 45 minutes, and we got the tick up on our little squiggle drawing that we did here. We were thinking if we're gonna push and maybe try and test a level, it'd be that 90K, and we'd see some resistance on that 90K, no problem. We see it here. We had this McDonald's M pattern kind of crush us, and then that brought us down to grab some liquidity at the 200-day moving average. We held the 200-day moving average. The RSI was really good. It was pretty solid, bottomed out here with a 200-day moving average bounce. So that's a good two indications of a move to the upside. And then when we were able to hold 86, that's when we broke the neckline, which was kind of right there in that spot of pretty decent support. So we pushed up. The next level that we're looking at, our eye was 92. We didn't push up to 92 as close as, we got close. 90,700 for Bitcoin. And now we're sitting at 88. So we're kind of getting a little bit of a probably bearish divergence here. You can see, kind of, if you're looking at the RSI now, the bit of a bearish divergence doesn't look too good right here on this 45 minute. We had a pretty volatile market open. You can see here the market open wick right here. Pretty nasty. We had some fake outs here, and you can see even going in even tighter going into these really short time frames. You can see the wicks, and you can see where the liquidity grabs were kind of coming in hot here. We opened up, before, even hours before market open, was pushing up and kind of pumping, and now we're getting the consolidation. So is that going to push the trades down? Yes, it'll push the trades down. Are we, really high leveraged? Absolutely not now. So anything under 10x is probably going to be okay with some of these volatilities and the dumps. I don't foresee Bitcoin getting like smashed back down into the 200-day moving average again, unless the markets and the market makers are just going to try and rinse and repeat and flush us again and bring the market back down into this range. Because we're basically just like, once we break a range, we kind of bing bong in a range between, we bing bong in between that 84 now and this 92, just kind of scooping liquidity. So we'll see what happens. But I've noticed something is that now we're getting less strength in the dollar. We're actually getting now finally a consolidation down, because we had the peak right here of the dollar trying to pump up into this wedge, and it wasn't successful to actually sustain it. Can we get the Dixie, the dollar, the DXY getting back down into this wedge here? Because when it was here, when the dollar strength was here, we had Bitcoin, and we were represented on the CME futures chart. This is when we had Bitcoin pretty much at its peak prices in the last bull run. So then when the dollar started to go up the wedge and start gaining strength, we had the massive bear market going into, a really nasty bear market. So then now if we're correlating it, if we get that level going down again into the Dixie and the DXY, and then we could have the correlation of Bitcoin, and you can see here on the daily chart, RSI bottom, we're kind of consolidating sideways here, creating a kind of a springboard. We already bounced off of the range here. We filled the gap. We filled that CME gap. So we have some room to grow. So on the daily and it looks good. If you're looking at the chart overall on the Bitstamp chart, if we just go to the weekly chart, it's in the red. It's in the red. You go to the monthly chart, though. The monthly chart's what we want to kind of keep our eye on. Look, the monthly were green. February wasn't the best. We had a lot of volatility. We had a lot of rinse and repeats. We had a lot of black swan events happening all through February. That gave us a pretty red February. I mean, it was just like, the monthly returns on February was not looking too good. February was 17% average monthly returns on Bitcoin. And now, historically in the runs and like maybe, recovery year, you think 2016, 2017, February was where we actually had more of some traction, 23%. And then in 2020 and 2021, the recovery year in the bull run, look, 36%. So this was like not common to have that bad of a February. So now going into March and April, this is why I think we're going to have a mega run into like an altcoin season once we get Ethereum starting to move. And why I think Ethereum actually is going to start moving here pretty soon is because we do have some news of the ETF starting to get a little bit of flows. We're starting to get some flows. Let me see where that. Yeah. So Fidelity just bought 10,000 Ethereum worth $21 million. Fidelity sold BTC but bought ETH. So interesting. So we've had a lot of the ETF outflows on Bitcoin happening, but then we've had some buys with Ethereum. So I've had this thought that maybe, the reason why Bitcoin even went up as violently as it did is because we had BlackRock and other institutions scooping up Bitcoin to be able to service their ETFs here under these tickers. IBIT, FBTC, BitBit, ARCB, BTCO, like all these are the, ETF products. And so we had a lot of buying pressure leading into the election, leading into the Trump pump, and then now we've had more selling pressure on the Bitcoin ETF. But the reason why Bitcoin was going up so much was because of the modality of the ETFs. There was a lot of inflows. We've had more selling pressure now, but I think what's going to happen with Ethereum is that we will have that institution inflow into the ETF, And then that is going to be the modality that actually pushes ETH up and past its all-time high. And then we're going to see coins like Pepe, like good fundamental projects that have good liquidity, whether it be a meme or a vaporware VC, whatever, or a tech coin or a DeFi coin, whatever it is. If it's on ETH and ETH is at 6K, guess what? All the most popular coins on ETH are going to pump. It's just like when Solana starts to pump, you get the most popular coins on Solana that have the highest trading volume and liquidity start to pump along with it. And it's just kind of like a domino effect that happens. And so we have a couple coins that we think, out of an ETH pump will do really, really well. I mean, we think Brett is going to be one of those in terms of the memes, and Pepe, SHIB will just for sure do well. Market sentiment across memes and the alts, so Doge, we're getting already good sentiment on alts for the American-based alts and the ones that were mentioned by Trump for the strategic reserve. So that's already a bullish narrative. But then people are going to go down the list, and maybe retail is going to be like, okay, we got the play. Here's the list of the Trump pump coins: Solana, XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, and ETH, because all those were mentioned. So there's your base. And then go under those. What are people going to see? What are they going to see on Robinhood? What are they going to see on Coinbase? Where's retail going? Where are they going? Where are they going to go when they start to download the apps and they start to interact and they start to actually, for whatever cash they have? I don't know how much cash retail has. They ain't got none. There ain't no cash. So until we get the Doge checks, that's the only cash people have to invest. Unless people are sitting on savings, but then people have eaten up their savings. There is no savings. Like, it's just, I make my income and then that has to go to my bills, and then maybe I got like $100 left. That's the reality for most retail traders or retail people that haven't really dipped their toe into crypto or even thinking about investing. They might even still be on the thought process that they're 5-10% in the stock market a year with their mutual funds and their bonds or whatever it is, that's going to beat inflation, while inflation has been 20% on the year. So the dollar's been inflating at 15 to 20% on average, and you think your 10% of the stock market and your mutual fund is going to save you. I'm sorry, but it's not. Because when you then break down the mechanism of inflation of the dollar and how much that dollar and your investment will be worth over time, it's not going to beat inflation. So you're effed. There's no other way besides to get into riskier, speculative assets. And that's what the government's doing. That's what big money's doing. If you're not doing that yet, you're toast. There's no getting ahead. It's the truth. And so that's how you have to think. You have to think aggressively like this. Like, your family and your livelihood is at stake if you don't start to think aggressively like that. Because they will make you think that inflation's not real, or that debasement of the currency isn't real, or that the disaster that the Biden administration did for the past 4 years doesn't have any effect on anything. No, it's all just Trump's fault. Trump bad, it's Trump's fault. Let's just blame Trump for everything, instead of blaming the terrible monetary policy that we've had for years. So you got to start thinking about it. What's the best thing? What is the only thing that will give the highest return with the amount of risk that is put in, risk/reward ratio? It's crypto. There's nothing else. Don't be fooled. You have been sold a bag of lies, and you now need to wake up. You've been sold a bag of lies. Wake up. Because if you don't, your finances are screwed. Because you're going to think that your 10% or whatever, your savings account or whatever it may be, and that house that you bought with the interest rate and all whatever it is going to be, then you're going to be able to sell it. Oh, I'm making profit. It's not that much of a profit when you think about it. It's not. It's just like how people who used Bitcoin or whatever, they bought a house and then compared how much Bitcoin they'd have now instead of investing into real estate. It's astronomical. It's crazy. It's pretty wild. But all right, let's get into some of the news. So BlackRock says if every millionaire in the US asked their financial advisor to get them 1 Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough. And that is a fact. So we've talked about this before. We were like a broken record last year talking about how exchanges over the next 6 to 7 months, or 6 to 9 months, I think it was on the figure of this article we were reading, is that there's not going to be enough Bitcoin to go around. It's true supply and demand. It's the best supply and demand asset in the entire world right now. So there will be, it's not going to be like it's going to be an easy thing for people to jump into and invest in, because they're not educated enough. They haven't done enough research. They need to keep learning. They need to keep studying, learn the money, learn where the money is going. And then they will start to understand that, oh, okay, this is why governments print money. When you start to talk about it to other people about how the government prints money out of thin air, it's called fiat currency. They can print the money, and what do you think they do with that? When you can print the money, they put it into the stock market. And then someone was like, well, where's the value of Bitcoin come from? I said, it comes from the printed money and the miners. So then it's the representation of a broken money supply that has to go somewhere. Where does it go? Because it eventually goes to zero. That's what happens. The currencies that have been bad currencies that have been inflated to infinity have been destroyed and have destroyed the countries around said currency. And so we've been seeing this happen straight, like in America. We've seen the results of a debasing currency and inflation, and it directly affects us. It directly affects us. And this is what I don't understand, how people are not more outraged by this, because when your money's messed up and your finances are being affected and your livelihood's being affected by the mistakes of your administration and your government, you should be pissed. You should be pissed off. You should be so mad because you've been bamboozled. Your money's been taken from you through inflation, through taxation, through interest, through massive manipulation. And so get pissed. Start making like an effort to start talking about it and tell people, hey, hello. Sorry, you've been distracted by social issues and DI and inclusion and equity and all of that stuff. But hey, all that doesn't matter when you're broke. Unless you're a Soros-paid protester, you're broke. So we got to do something about it. Time to be a little bit more vocal about it. And it's hilarious that people are mad that the government's actually we're finding the waste, we're telling people about it, and there's a bunch of squeaky wheels saying that we don't like this. This seems like it's against the Constitution. I'm like, wow. I'm pretty sure the past 4 years of the administration was a complete, utter violation of our Constitution and our rights and everything to the full extent. And you're going to tell me now that they're showing you the fraud and you're mad about it. They're showing you the fraud and you're mad about it. That's hilarious. And am I live on Facebook? Did it get Facebook? Okay, Erica. Okay, because I want to talk directly to the people on my Facebook, because it seems that people are just like have I don't know. They've lost all reason. It's at a point where they're literally showing you the fraud, and you're like, I'm upset about this. I'm upset you're showing me the money that's been taken from me. Don't you show me this. How dare you, sir? Got to think bigger. Got to think that maybe you've just been massively psyoped so hard that you're that like, oh, talk about programming. And that's the thing. It's like anyone is susceptible to psyops and programming. They're very, very good at doing this stuff, guys. They're very good at convincing you that a lie is the truth. That's how these people are so sinister, is that they can convince a group of people to support a straight up bag of freaking lies. And then they will turn these people into a vocal army to then make you feel like you're insane for saying the things that you're saying. When you're like, here's the proof. Go look at the proof. Go look at your bank account. Go look at your finances and tell me with a straight face you've just been A-okay. I'm not saying that everyone is down and out and has it bad, but I'm just telling about 70%, 80% of people through the past 4 years have gotten screwed and have had to pay a lot more money to do all the things that it's just basic necessities. Basic necessities. I don't know. I find it fascinating. But man, this Bitcoin volatility though, we got to watch, because it is going to do something with the alts. It's going to do something pretty interesting with the alts. CZ said crypto, predicting 10-year trend is easy. But predicting the moment like that's like happening right now is pretty hard. Yeah, we can predict, the long-term vision is clear, short-term is just vibes. Carl said, which is why wealth is created only by the patient. So we're trying to be as patient as we can be. We didn't sell a single coin when we were at the peak, which was around in January. We didn't sell anything. It probably would have been nice to scoop off a little bit of profits, but we really are trying to practice some patience here this time in this cycle, because if the trend is the friend and the past 4-year halving cycles and what's happened all during those times, if you go back and look at what's happened, we've had these shakeouts, we've had these black swan events, we've had all this stuff happen. We even through COVID, the biggest psyop ever in history, we still went up. We had people shorting and thought, this is it. Like, it's done. It's zero. It's going to zero. And it still went up. It still went up. It still caught people off guard. It still, even through that, caught people off guard. This is why I have the views that I have, and why I've kind of become kind of perma bullish on Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. Like, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, obviously, guys. I talk about memes. I'm on Pulse Chain. I like crypto. I have fun in crypto, but there is something to say about Bitcoin and what it actually stands for, and how it is carrying this market, and how we can go into the next 10 years. That's what I always say. Like, I love that, CZ is talking about this. He's like, look, just you guys zoom out, guys. Like, look at the next 10 years and see where your life can be if you have some, a little bit of patience. I wonder how many people will be here in 10 years that are here right now. Yeah, I've thought about that. I was like, you know, am I going to be making videos and content and still be working in crypto or trying to do crypto in the next 5 to 10 years? Damn right I'm going to, because what other industry is there? You know, like what other industry is that we can do the stuff that we can do in crypto? Nothing. There's no other industry, and this is where I want to be. I think I can do everything that I would ever dream of to do by the means of crypto. And I remember saying that. I said, you know what? I've seen what people have been able to do and what they can create, and I want to be able to do the same. I want to bring value. I want to bring value to other people, education, build stuff, and be able to provide awesome entertainment and content, music, art, all that stuff. This is what I've done my whole life. So I'm using crypto as the means to be able to get this, just to show it to the world. And I think it's awesome. Yeah, speaking of the blunder, I want to go back to my little blunder here. I made a video and it was like, I'm in a bullish Sonic trade. I'm like, wrong Sonic, bro. I started looking at the token. I was like, wait, no, that's Sonic. You freaking... So I want to show you. Here's the Sonic trade of the Sonic token. I was like, oh, whoops. Wrong token, but still a bullish trade though. Still a bullish trade. All right, so we are having some volatility here, guys. It looks like they could be bringing it back into this range where we just pumped off of. We just came from here. We were just here yesterday. This is exchange manipulation. This is not normal. That is not normal. Come on. Like, really? You couldn't push it up to 92? You really couldn't push it up to 92. You really had to bring it back down into this range? Come on, exchanges. Don't reveal yourselves so easy. Because this isn't traders. This isn't like there's like millions and millions of short-term volatility traders just like, yeah. No, it's like basically like probably like a handful of market makers on these exchanges, and then they're just doing this BS. Pretty crazy. But we're riding through. We're riding through the volatility, guys. We're gonna take profits. And like I was saying before, if you are trading the volatility, you have to know that, like, if you're trying to swing for the fences and you're in a swing long, if the markets go against you and then it ends up that, well, you're not in a swing long anymore, now you might be in a scalp. So you might have to pivot and switch your risk management, here with this, with the volatility here. We could get quick wicks to the downside, but then a quick bounce, Just have to see where the momentum is. And it looks like we had some volume coming in and then it just went nowhere. But it looks like the RSI could be bottoming here, and then we could get a nice little recovery pump to the upside, hopefully. At this point, it's going to be really hard to tell because of the nature of the exchange manipulation. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hitting the like button. We haven't been able to stream onto X, which has been kind of lame. We usually have a lot of people watching on X as well, but we got silenced. We will be back in a few days. We'll be back streaming on X in a few days, but we still have some updates. Kenneth said, I caught the stream. I am ecstatic. Oh my gosh. This is how it feels to be in crypto. It's like, don't get involved in crypto. It's too risky. Way too close. Oh my gosh. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, but In-N-Out Burger was bull posting about Bitcoin. 1.5 million people saw this and they said, should In-N-Out Burger accept Bitcoin? And then James Slammerman said, yes. I mean, also make the Sproto Burger and the Sproto Burger Deluxe. And don't forget the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu Super Shake. Babies, baby dolls. Yes, please accept the people's Bitcoin. All right. I have a question for you guys. I have a question. Which crypto will get a spot ETF first? Cardano or XRP? Which one do you guys think will get the spot ETF first? I think Litecoin's probably going to get it before either of those two. I have a feeling Litecoin actually might get it before both. You know what they should do is just say, look, we're going to make an ETF that has XRP, Cardano, just like a bag of alts. Just like make a bag of alts index. I feel you can already do that because we have the Coinbase 50. There's the Coinbase 50, and then is there any other index type? Not on the stock market, but that would be really cool. I mean, there should be something like that because then that would give retail investors and institutional investors or money funds and different things like that to have exposure to alts in a way that is safe for them, even though we know, like, okay, well, historically alts go through an altcoin season, which means that alts go down against Bitcoin when Bitcoin has high dominance. And so this is why, people like Benjamin Cohen have been laughing or just being like, really? You're going to like bull post about alts? Like, have you seen the dominance? Like, what's going on here? So it's really funny. So, but with the nature of how we're going into a more bullish crypto next 4 years in America, specifically for the New York Stock Exchange, it could be that we start to get more products and more things that old investors that have a 401k or 65 plus, that they're not going to download the seed phrase. They're not going to download the wallet. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. No one's doing that. We do that. No one else is going to do that. We're the site. We want to be technical and do that stuff. Oh, let me send a transaction. No one's doing that. The 50, the 45 plus, it's just a fact. They will not do it. They're going to go the easier route. Do it for me, third-party custodian, whether it be through a bank or through, the said modality that we're trying to pitch here, which is whether it be an index-traded fund, ETF, whatever, part of the 401k, part of the IRA. That's probably going to be more so how these alts are going to maybe sustain more of a bull market price and not go and get smashed, because it's going to be more of a long-term hold. And also we have to think about the Trump tax implications with the rumor that there will be no capital gains tax on crypto that's been held for over a year, that is in especially American-based crypto companies. So then you think, is that going to alleviate the sell pressure from retail and holders to not always think that they need to sell during said cycles? Does it create more of a hodl mentality where it's like, at least for a year, people will be at a point every time they buy, if you're a new investor, you're going to want to hold it for a year. So then that means each wave of retail that comes into the market and buys crypto, their incentive is to hold it for a year. So do you get it? Now, this is why you hold stuff, especially if your administration that we're in right now is going to actually hopefully get this stuff passed, because then if that's the case, then your XRP, your Cardano, your Litecoin, your Dogecoin, your whatever, your Algorand, whatever, go down the list of whatever your American-based crypto company is, that will build a more hodl environment through each wave of new investor. That's amazing. That means less sell pressure, more people buying than selling. And then if you can combine that and make the exchanges stop being a-holes and trading against their customers, and then find out who's doing it, and like literally be like, if you keep doing it, we're going to find you and shut you down and you won't be able to operate, and we'll cancel all your Apple licenses. I feel like that would be a great win for crypto, because then we won't see this scam wicks and all this crap like Binance and Bybit and all of the crazy manipulation. Like, they're 100% the reason why you see the wicks, why you see the... That's not retail. That's not average traders doing that. That's a market maker with millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to dump on your freaking head. So that's got to stop. Like, because if that keeps happening, that's just it just continues to fabricate price movement. If we had real price movement, retail wouldn't get destroyed all the time. So it's like, this game is being played 100%. It's like, I see it now. It's like, that's the game. That is the game. But we have to know that, okay, we have all of this stuff set up. How are we going to survive? How are we going to, Well, yeah, that's the thing, and that's how they get you. That's how they kind of stronghold you. They're like, oh, well, you have to buy it on the exchanges, or oh, you have to trade. If you want to trade, you got to use the exchanges. But actually, now, no, you really don't. Like, I mean, you can use them, but at the same time, it's like there's DEXs, there's decentralized perps, there's DeFi. So there's always DeFi. So at the end of the day, we use it all. But we're not going to marry one thing. We're not going to be like, oh, blah, 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 this is the best thing ever. It's like, no, I'm going to use what is usable. And then once one thing goes down, I'm going to the next thing, because we don't have time to be dealing with marrying some exchange like we did with BlockFi or Voyager or FTX, or think they're gods, or think they're like the crypto saviors, because guess what? We all got rugged. We all got rugged massively by these institutions, and we paid the bill with our crypto. They took our crypto and rugged us. So, yeah. So you got to protect yourself. That's, I guess, the long-winded answer is protect yourself, have a DCA strategy, self-custodian your stuff. Don't hold it on exchanges for even a second. Trade it, do whatever. The moment you got your money, get it off immediately. Because you don't want to be left paying the exchange's bill from their misconduct. That's what it is. You get to pay the bill for their misconduct. It's just like how the U.S. government and the administration that we were in prior, we paid the bill. We paid the bill. We had to pay it. So it's time to stop getting taken advantage of across the board, and we're gonna now it's time for us to win. That's my attitude now. Like going into this is like it's time for us to win now. We've gotten taken advantage of way too much, and we're freaking tired of it. And I know you are too. So it's time to get pumped. It's time to get not aggressive, but it's time to like start to lock in. We got to lock in, because sometimes you don't want to be too aggressive, because then aggression can feed into an anger, and then you can have a like kind of a poor attitude going into this. We don't want to do that. We want to be cool. We want to be calculated. We want to be concise. We want to be constructive, and we want to have just a strategic plan. Okay? And you should too. And part of that is to not get shaken out, to not give up. This is the game, is that they're trying to make you give up and give your freaking crypto away. They don't want, like, at the end of the day, like, they want the big boys, they want your crypto. They don't want the small guy to have all the crypto. They want your crypto. When you hear that and you go, oh, stop. Like, oh, really? They want your Bitcoin? 100% they want your Bitcoin. You think that 21 million is enough for everyone in the world, for 8 billion people, 9 billion people, however many people are in the world? It's not enough. Bitcoin's just an idea that anyone can take part of. If an idea spread like wildfire into the minds of enough people, and they said, we're going to buy Bitcoin now, there's not enough to go around. There's not enough to go around. So wrap that around your brain and understand that that's what the billionaires are thinking right now. The only reason why they're not buying the crap out of it right now, like really, really buying it, is because they know it'll just pump the price, and they don't want us to win like that. They don't want us to win that fast. It would be too violent. It would be too violent of a wealth transfer. The exchanges would then be revealed as the scammers that they are, and they'd have to offer Bitcoin at a premium. It's just as simple as that. They can't do that, because then they would be revealed, and then Bitcoin price go up. They're the ones that are stifling it. So, and it's like, I'm not just spitting off like random crap. I mean, Marty Party has been doing the damn research, been following him, and he's been pretty damn spot on with following the on-chain, winter mute transactions, following where all the Solana's going. Basically, every time Solana gets up to a point, these freaking exchanges like Coinbase and Binance, and they're dumping on our freaking heads. The moment that they, the moment that they feel like, oh, they're winning, nope, they're getting too close to winning, they dump it, they sell against us. And it's like, we're using your platform. We're making you money. We're making you money by promoting your platforms, and then you're trading against us? Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is that? We are promoting your platforms and being like, oh, thank you so much, Binance, for being scammers. Like, okay, cool. Thank you so much. It's like, kiss the ring. It's like, no, I'm not gonna kiss your ring. I'm gonna tell people like the truth and be like, hey, stop doing that. Like, you want crypto to be, you want people to be onboarded onto crypto, but then you're scamming on top of their heads. That's hilarious. You want people to use your platform, and you want rainbows and unicorns for everyone to accept crypto, but then you're trading against your people and doing back-end shady crap. What the hell? What the hell? And then you got real data that's on chain, and people don't want to pay attention to it. Everyone's like, oh, Cardano's great. Cool, Cardano. Charles Hoskinson is really at least good at talking up the tech and how nothing is superior against Cardano, but then doesn't acknowledge the fact that Pulse Chain does like literally quadruple the volume in just a single day and does way better transaction throughput, actually has funner, more like, better DeFi than what Cardano was even able to even accomplish at all with their freaking their swaps. Like the swaps that came out were such a scam and such a disappointment when Cardano went smart contract and they were like, oh yeah, here's all these swaps that don't work. And it's just so funny. It's like, it's hilarious. It's like, okay, like that didn't work at all. And then literally right out the gate, Pulse Chain launched and PLSX was like, worked just fine. And I created liquidity pool and there you go. And then when you tried to go into Cardano, you're like, I tried to download the Daedalus wallet and it took like 7 hours. And then at a point I was like, I'm not waiting to download this freaking wallet just so I can try and stake my Cardano. So when people talk about like, oh, the tech, what are you talking about? Like, what actually are you speaking about? Because is it real or is it just like a bunch of PR that is then directed in this way of Cardano being like the superior chain? If we're gonna go by actual numbers and volume and actual activity on chain, then Cardano and XRP and all the other ones are garbage. Then they're garbage. Then they're just vaporware VC coins, just like all the rest of them. So, yeah, they'll still go up, but are we gonna actually go off of what the market cap truly is? You know what? They gatekeep Pulse Chain. They don't even tell you across the markets and the aggregators and price and on the exchanges that it's the it's in the top 30 actually of market cap. In terms of a chain against all the other ones, it should be in the top 30. But it's not. Do you know why? Because they're gatekeeping it. They want you to keep your eyes on the Cardano and Solana and all the other stuff, and then all the while you got this. Works just fine. And it's hilarious. So I'm going to choose to keep my eyes in areas also, instead of following the sheep programming that could be like, oh, Cardano's pure chain. Yeah, cool. It might get used for the voting system, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be like the best DeFi smart contract platform, because guess what? There's better stuff. So Cardano can be used for something cool, governance and whatever, and UTXO transactions, throughput. Guess what? It isn't used enough by enough people to test the UTXO transaction throughput because no one's using it. No one's using it. If there's this much volume, no one's using it. It's fake. So what are we talking about? That's why I like Pepe. It doesn't matter at a point. It doesn't matter about like at a point, it's like, okay, did you get enough attention? It's an attention economy. Market cap and all that crap. It's like a damn scam. Market cap. Let's go by real DeFi on-chain metrics and transactions. Let's see if Cardano could handle what Solana went through with the Trump coin. Imagine if Trump coin launched on Cardano and then Cardano just completely failed and crashed and couldn't keep up with the transaction volume. Then what? Then what are we talking about? So, whatever, guys. With your strategic reserve of Cardano and an XRP and whatever, you saw my thumbnail. It should just be the ticker Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all those other tokens. The boss is laughing at me. She's like, bro, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. My wife laughs at me so much when I talk, when she's like, you haven't bought XRP? She even tells me about her friends that bought XRP. They're like, what's this, a freaking ding dong put in, $1,000 in XRP and cashed out. I'm like, that's fine. That's all great. That's cool. Come to me in 5-10 years. Come to me in 10 years. Tell me how your XRP is doing in 10 years. Talk to the people that held XRP from the last cycles. And then talk to the other people that held Bitcoin instead. So it's just you choose to hear what you want to hear. You hear what you want to hear. I'll trade XRP, but I'm not going to hold it. It's not a store of value. XRP is not a store of value. Don't let anyone convince you that XRP is a freaking store of value. The next Bitcoin, whilst you can put more supply into the market, and there's like billionaire bankers that are fully intertwined into this thing. Stores of value. Store of value. Oh, we got a nice reversal. Okay, so I was like thinking they're either going to bring it down right back to entry of where we just pumped, which was damn close. Wait a second. I just looked at the time. I thought I was going to end the stream 5 minutes ago, but I've been running my damn mouth. I think as Kenneth came in, he was excited. I'm like, let's give him the rant. Let's give him the rant. I like ranting because you know what? Because on here, I finally feel open enough to speak my mind exactly how I feel. And I love it because sometimes when I'm out in public or whatever, I kind of just keep my mouth shut. There's people that say stuff and I go, oh, yeah. I go, oh, yeah. People will hear the song, I love to be, proud to be an American. A girl will sing that and someone will go, well, that's ironic, her singing that song, being American and being a woman in this country right now. And I'm like, yeah. I hear you. I'm like, yeah. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I thought about wearing the Make Meme Coins Great Again hat around town and see how many dirty looks I get when people don't read the hat. They just see the red and the white letters across and they go, let's jump them. Let's get them, boys. Let's get them. And then I'm about to get jumped, about to get baseball bat in the back of the head, you know? And they're like, and I'm like, it's just a meme coin hat. Stop. No. It's just about meme coins. I could change the lyrics, and I'm proud to be a degenerate trading crypto on these exchanges. All right, we're having too much fun. We're having too much fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Did we get okay, we got the likes up past at least 10. I know some people, they probably don't like the rants. They probably don't like the political talk, but guess what, guys? You know what's directly tied to your money? Politics. If the politics are bad, your money's bad. If the administration's bad, it's what are we talking about here? So it's funny that like it's all correlated. So it's impossible not to eventually end up talking about politics or monetary policy and it trickling into crypto and in what you're doing in your life. So when people say, oh, get political, they're just they're just yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Enjoy the silence, which you will not get on the stream. Will not be silent. I will not be silent anymore. I will say from the rooftop, Bitcoin. The ticker is Bitcoin, my friends. Whether it be on Ethereum or Bitcoin itself, the ticker has always been Bitcoin. And that is a fact. It has always been Bitcoin. Oh, okay. All right. I think we had enough fun. Q&A. Questions, answers, debates, discussions. Let's talk about it. I'm still laughing at myself. I made a video talking about how I was in a bullish trade on Sonic Labs, and I'm like, wait, that's not the right Sonic. I'm like, I don't know if that was a good move for them. Like the S token, they couldn't just name it Sonic Labs. There's like, is there like a IP issue or something? Could play out to be one of the most bullish trades I've ever put in. Because if this thing goes to its previous if it goes to its previous all-time high and pumps up into this area, oh my god. It's be a pretty decent trade. We'll see what happens. Oh man. All right, yeah, so here's the trades right now currently. They're kind of swinging around. They're swinging around. We have these trades in for a reason. We explained why we have the Bitcoin trade in. We've caught the bottom at 82, like basically at entry of where we've just pumped from that previous pump, that previous nice little pump off that 200-day moving average. That's a great entry. If you think about it, you're like, okay, what's the 200-day moving average on a coin? Does it bounce off of there? That's the entry. So, because then if it goes back there, the only, you can at least be like, okay, I could go break even. Because then if it breaks down off the 200-day moving average again, then like the last time it did that, it went as low as 78. So that was when it broke off the 200-day moving average, which was around an average of 81,082. So then that was the kind of the capitulation low, 78 off the 200-day. And then, so that's a good entry. That's a solid entry. I mean, yeah, 200-day moving average entry, 82.7. So that's epic. So that's a really nice entry. Then Cardano, that was actually one of the better entries that we got, was on Cardano actually, because we saw that we were ticking up on some of these altcoins, and if anything, Cardano still is lagging. Like, it is lagging in price appreciation against other altcoins. So if it can catch up, then we will see a like $2, maybe even a $3 Cardano here coming up soon. Just people need to get money. I mean, retail needs to come in and just kind of start spot buying, just like, price squeezing some of these alts. You would think that it would be enough for the president to say, Cardano, XRP, and Solana in a strategic reserve, and I feel like the market really didn't react as hard as I thought it would. I mean, legit, President mentions altcoins, and we just got like a 1-day pump. Then no one gives a crap. And if you were to ask anyone, regular person out there, Trump mentioned Solana, XRP, and Cardano for the strategic reserve, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" He's Cardanzo and Solana, and he went to the salon to get an XRP. What are you talking about? Like, no one knows what the hell you're talking about. No one knows. No one cares, and this is why I have this channel, because I want people to know what the hell we're talking about. Why would you want to be left in the dust for like one of the biggest financial revolutions and wealth transfers from analog to digital on-chain stuff? Why would you want to be left in the dust? It's just like if you had the inclination of being in the internet early 2000s and thinking, this is going to control everything. Everyone's going to be on the internet. This is it. And you stuck with it, and you built through the volatility, built through the bubble. You maybe had a company that crashed out, and you're like, okay, regroup, you know? It's almost like the internet had its own shakeout. And then we had AWS, HTTP, full-on, internet protocols that went from just read-only to then Web 2 to then now Web 3 to then now going into full immersion of everything being connected on-chain. Why am I so freaking crazy about this stuff and want to talk about it? Maybe it's just my personality, but it's just like, I'm like, what? Like, if you really break it all down, this is what is happening. And you're worried about if Elon creating Doge to find government waste is constitutional or not. What the hell are we talking about? But yeah, all right. Let's see what happens for the rest of the day on Bitcoin. I kind of have a feeling that we're going to pump up to 92. That's going to be a pretty interesting resistance point, because we did get resistance at 91, but now we're going to get probably a pretty decent pump up to 92. It looks like it. We're heading that direction. Watch for resistance at 92 and a possible quick pump up to 93, and then we're going to have to really see, because then we just completed a full reversal pattern from the top here of 94. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we really appreciate you coming in today, hitting the like button, keeping a little bit of the conversation going. I know Wednesday's sometimes the hump day, and we always say, the algorithm sometimes. But yeah, remember, guys, the algorithm is you. The only way the algorithm will work is if you hit the like button, share this stream, do all the things that just help build this channel, and we'll do better. We'll make better content. Because the algorithm is all based on if you're just good or not, So it's whether you think I'm good or not at what I'm doing is the question here. But guys, I'm still going to make videos. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to make live streams. I'm still going to be here. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. I like crypto, and I'm here to stay. So if you want to be with me, you want to be part of the Dano Jojo crew, then pop into the Discord and let's have some fun. And let's not take ourselves too damn seriously, because you just might get silenced for 6 days for making an off-the-cuff joke on X. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you later. Peace out.